Welcome to Half Past Broke, where the dreams are big and the wallets are smaller. I am your host Walker, here with Eric, and we are about to discuss a little bit about gardening. But first off, we're going to talk a little bit about beer.
All right, yes, I certainly am, Eric. I'm pretty psyched on that intro. It's actually really cool. I thoroughly enjoy it. Something that goes along with a good quality mic is a good deep voice, and I feel like you really nailed that one spot on.
Yeah, I've been practicing that all week.
Good. I like it. I'm down with it. Maybe not for every intro, but I feel like, you know, on special occasions you could really bust that voice out and really make it happen.
I just wanted to see how low and slow I could go. All right.
I think you nailed it. But moving on from that, yeah, we got, you know, that's basically our two topics that we're going to go with today is beer, because as you all know, we thoroughly enjoy beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an obsession, I swear.
Yeah, no, it's a hobby. But and then we're going to talk about kind of like sustainable food, like growing your own food and stuff, and just basically how to grow like vegetables and shit, so when you're cooking you just walk right outside, pick a fresh pepper, pick something, and go cook with it, because I think it's pretty sweet instead of having to go to the store for everything. And luckily we have a wealth of knowledge coming from Walker's End.
Yeah, and before we dive all into that, Eric, what are you drinking today? That is the second time in a row.
I didn't forget. I was still going. Are you kidding me? I was just about to ask. Come on, I didn't forget. You know what? The one time I really did forget, and I was devastated. I was just about to ask. I'm actually drinking. I've never had it before. This is the first time I've had it. It's actually really good. It's Lancaster Milk Stout.
Ooh, I love the stouts.
It's really good. It's like, it's interesting because it's like heavy because it's a stout, but it's got a nice light, like creamy feel to it because I guess it's brewed with milk sugar, so it really is just a great balance.
That sounds actually really amazing.
And it's right in Pennsylvania, Pittstown, I think it is.
Not Pittsburgh.
No, Pittstown. The
Pittston, town is the Pitts.
It is. This is the Pitts. No, it's Pittston.
Pittston. Okay.
You'd think with a name like Lancaster Brewing Company, you'd be in Lancaster, but geographically, I don't know how close it is. They might be like right next to each other. I don't know, but yeah, it's a delicious beer. What about you? Word on the street is that you've been gallivanting to a bunch of different breweries today.
Oh yeah, check out our Instagram later today because I have a bunch of pictures. I spent an entire day doing a brew trail today. I did Warhorse, I did Twisted Rail, and I did the Bottomless Brewing, and those were some of the best beers I've ever had. And I got a cheese tray with the beer.
I'm intrigued.
It was like goat cheese, blue cheese. There was like Parmesan Asiago mixture, and it had like bruschetta with it. Man, it was just it was great.
Now, when they brought it out to you, did they kind of like pair it with the beer you were drinking, or was it just like a general cheese tray and you had to pair it yourself?
Oh yeah, you picked out the cheese and you picked out your flight of beer.
Oh,
so
cool.
like I picked out my flight of beer, and then like afterwards I was like, you know what, I want fucking cheese. So
hell yeah,
hell yeah. Me and my wife picked out a couple cheeses, and we decided like all the ones that we liked, and man, that blue cheese was amazing.
I love blue cheese.
No, I know, me too.
Oh man, I actually had a blue cheese burger the other day. They're so fucking good, you know.
Have you ever had like the crumbles like cooked right into the burger? Like,
I have not.
So good. That's
really
life changing. Life changing.
So you went to 3 breweries. What was your favorite beer from each place? If you had to peg down one your favorite beers from each place?
Oh, if I had to peg down one, well, I mean, by the time I hit the third one, I don't remember a whole lot.
Hell yeah!
I had to spend 2 hours before this to sober up, but
worth it. You kidding me?
But we went at Warhorse. I do remember significantly this one beer. It was called the Churchill. It was like based on Winston Churchill. Warhorse is like a very much like a World War II style. Like they try to stylize all their beers after World War II icons and whatnot. Well, there's this one called the Churchill Stout. It's a nitro stout, and they put a little bit of maple syrup in there. Like you can't buy it in the can like this. They put maple syrup right into the beer.
Oh, no, wait, no, really? Like they pour you the beer and they put maple syrup in it?
Exactly, yeah.
Ooh, that's fucking wild.
Man, it was so good.
That's awesome.
It's been a hot minute since I had a beer that was that like I needed more. And they also like if you pay $7, you get to drink the whole beer, and you get to keep the glass that it came with.
That's for how much?
$7.
Jesus, it's amazing. I paid $7 for a shitty beer at the fucking local bar the other week.
Exactly. Like I was so surprised. I didn't even know I was paying for the glass. I tried to give it back, and they're like, "Dude, that's yours."
That's amazing. I paid $7 for a Long Island iced tea the other day. It's a fucking joke. And I had to give the glass back.
Why would you pay more than like $1.50 for Long Island iced teas?
Whoa, because LA teas are the fucking truth, man. They'll fuck you up.
Oh, I know, but I just remember the last time I really like drank a Long Island iced tea. It was about $1.50 at the bar that I was at, and they were buy one get one because I think they were just trying to like clear out their liquor cabinet. And man, let me tell you, you get about 5 of those in, and everything's good.
yeah, it was interesting. And I only started drinking them because I was just drinking beer and whiskey, and then like I started talking about Long Island iced teas with someone, and next thing I know, that's it, just drinking them for the rest of the night.
Oh yeah, no, those will get away from you too. You gotta watch them.
It's ugly. It's like next thing you know, you just like go to stand up to go to the bathroom, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, no, yeah. I highly suggest if you're drinking something like that, stand up while you're doing it so you can kind of register in your head like,
exactly
how fucking drunk you're getting. You do not want to be sitting down drinking that much because you go to stand up and it's a shock.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal. I do enjoy them though. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I love them. It's just something when you just want to get drunk, and they don't taste terrible. But
I also like to make note that there's actually no iced tea in Long Island iced tea.
No, not at all. It's a splash of Coke. That's the only thing that makes it look that dark.
Anyway,
it's just like So all right, so your favorite was the Churchill from Warhorse, was it? What about Twisted Rail?
Twisted Rail, okay. Twisted Rail will forever remain my favorite for this one sour beer that they have, this farmhouse beer.
Oh yeah,
I love it. It's amazing, and it's kind of citrusy, and it's really really like easy chugging and whatnot. And
what's it called? Is it high alcohol? Like high?
It's
ABV?
like 6.9, I believe, ABV, 6.9%.
That's not bad.
So it's a higher end alcohol, but like at the same time, it's not like the highest I've ever had. I mean, I've had alcohols that were like 11%. So.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But no, that was my favorite one. And Bottomless Brewing, I honestly I remember the cheese tray.
That's amazing.
But I don't remember jack shit else from that.
Fuck yeah, that's how you know you did it right.
Yeah.
Your wife was like dragging you out of there.
Oh no, we were dragging each other out.
My god,
we had to sit in the car for 2 hours before we could leave.
That's amazing. Hey man, you gotta do it. You gotta have fun, you know.
Yeah, right. I mean, I wasn't expecting that much fun, but it was not entirely unwelcomed.
Yeah, and now this is only a few hours ago too, right? So you're all fresh as a daisy right now. Would you take a nap or something?
Yeah, no, I pretty much stopped drinking like 3 hours ago, and I started drinking 2 minutes ago. So
there you go. So nice little break. It's perfect. You're catching like the hair of the dog right now, but in the same day. It's not. You don't have to wait until the next morning.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really. I skipped the hangover and just started drinking again.
That's not good. That's steps towards alcoholism, but
yeah,
once in a while it's okay.
I'm gonna get double hangover tomorrow.
Oh my god! Ooh, no, just keep drinking. You're past the point of no return, is what it is really right now. You just gotta roll with it.
Well, I gotta pay for it someday. I'm gonna wake up one morning and just be dead to the world. I might as well do it tomorrow.
I guess you're right.
All right.
I guess you're right. So those are your 3 favorite beers. I actually did go to a local brewery. I've talked about it before on the show. 13th Child. So
Oh
Thursday,
yeah.
yeah. So Thursday I went. We did a 12-mile bike ride with
Mm.
the bike party group I do, and everyone goes to the bar after the brewery. Man, I had this fucking amazing beer. It was called the Lord Have Mercy, and
Lord have mercy.
it was like fucking. First off, I only had 3 beers, but everything there is so high alcohol content. I was like looking around, like fuck, I'm drunk. No, not drunk, but like and one of them wasn't even a full like pint. It was like they give you like little snifters when they're really high alcohol content.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so good though. It's God, what is it? It's a Belgian. Well, here I have it right here because I fucking
it wasn't
couldn't remember what it was.
like a Belgian wheat ale or something like
No,
that.
no. It was a Belgian like heavy or something like that.
Hmm.
I have it right about here. I'll read you the description. It's called the Lord Have Mercy, a classic Belgian strong brewed like the Trappist monks, slightly sweet with German malt, caramel, and just enough noble hops for balance. It was fucking amazing.
That does sound fucking sweet.
It went down so smooth, but with like God, it had to be like over 8% alcohol.
Oh Jesus.
But and yeah, that came in a full pint. It was just really good. I had a couple other ones there. Just all around good beer. A lot of times I don't have good experiences because a lot of breweries kind of. We talked about it before. It's like a fashion for them. They just do it and just hide behind the craft brew title.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Some of them will just like use the craft brew like label, and like like food trucks and beer breweries will do the same. We'll all do it. Like they'll hide behind that label of like hey, we're a microbrew. Let's try our shit, and it's like really not that like impressive. Like they gotta bring something more to the table than just an IPA, because at this point we're used to IPAs.
Yeah, exactly. So this place I was actually really, really impressed with. So that's really it as far as my local brewery touring goes. There's one more that I have to get to. It's actually really close to where I live, and I'll get there eventually. It's just every time I ride with this group of people, we just end up going to 13th Child Brewery.
So they all just want to go to the one same place. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not so bad. I mean, obviously, like it has the potential to be like a good brewery.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds of beers there, and you know what? I always fuck up because they have a Groupon, a coupon where for like $12 or something you get like a glass, a 64-ounce growler, and a testing flight. And I always fuck up. I always forget to pick up the Groupon and take that deal because that's a really good deal.
Oh yeah, no, well, microbreweries in general, like I mean, on Groupon, there's so like if the folks at home haven't tried Groupon for microbrews. Man, I tell you what, those microbrews have Groupons out the ass, for tastings, for like the free glass you get. I got a whole growler for like $10. Like, there's some amazing things on those.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. This is actually 100% not sponsored. I don't like. We're so far off their radar. It's outrageous.
Yeah, nobody cares what we say.
Yeah, but it's great. Local breweries, I guess, because they're all just trying to get customers in there. And it's funny because when I went there was like a little street fair, and it just happened to be right outside 13th Child Brewery. We went in, and there's so much foot traffic going in. There's a big sign there that says, "We will not be accepting the Groupon deal today." So just because they were hitting so much foot traffic through there, they're like, "Fuck it, we can make so much money today." So they weren't taking the Groupon, which I understand. Got to make money where you can. It's not cheap to run a brewery.
Yeah, especially microbrews. I mean, like you're making all those batches yourself, and like that process is not a cheap process for like bulk amount of beer.
Mm-hmm. It was good though. It's it's homegrown beer. You gotta represent your local area, and if you just happen to get a pretty sick brewery in your local area, you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, on top of supporting your local brewery, not to move on to our more main topic, but support your local brewery, but don't forget that hops and wheat and barley and all that stuff can also be grown at home.
Now you've caught my attention in the gardening department.
Yeah, like let me tell you, I mean, brandy, you can make brandy out of any sort of fruit. So if you got like a pear tree just sitting in the backyard, make yourself some brandy out of that. There's 100 things you could do, 100,000 billions, trillions, gazillion things you can do
bathtub moonshine.
Exactly. With like not with barely an acre. Like you don't even need to have that much land. You could have like, you know, the side of your house and you could still have a pretty decent yield for yourself.
That's actually what I wanted to talk about, because I do have a lot of questions for you actually, because you know, between you and your wife, you've got a very good grasp on gardening.
Yeah.
So I have this. I live in a fucking trailer. It's baller. It's so nice. So on the side,
trailer.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
God. So on the side yard, I guess the people who lived here before me, they started a little garden. It's a little, God, I'm gonna say 8x6 plot in the middle of the lawn with dirt and everything. And I guess they tried to grow peppers there and tomatoes.
Oh.
The only problem is that where I'm at, I'm right up against a tree line, so I don't get a whole lot of sunlight there.
Is it north or south facing? Do you know off the top of your head?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because a lot of plants, like as much sunlight as possible, but a lot of plants, like 6 hours of sunlight is generally what you're looking for.
And you know what? Like in the winter, I could totally do that because there's no leaves on the trees. I'm gonna have to see how it is in the summer and in the spring and whatnot.
I don't know whether or not you know this, but most plants don't grow in the wintertime.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I fucking said I can manage the sunlight in the winter, but that would kind of fuck me. Yeah, come on. That's why it's ironic that I could have the sunlight when I can't grow anything.
Do you have if you have like any side of your house that's like, you know, east or west facing, you would get like a good solid couple hours worth of sunlight.
Yeah, I could get a couple hours, but not
Also,
I don't know about more than 6.
I mean, also,
I don't have
like,
to time it.
if you don't want to do like huge big stuff like that, I mean, you can get like, you know, cherry tomatoes and stuff like that. And
I do love cherry tomatoes.
And you could grow them inside if you have like a fluorescent light, like you could get like a fluorescent light. I don't know how much they are nowadays, but I know they used to be super cheap. You could grow in your basement.
Oh my God. Bathtub moonshine and hydroponic tomatoes.
Yeah, hydroponic tomatoes. Yes, air quotes, tomatoes.
Yeah,
growing in your basement.
I am growing tomatoes, I promise.
Actually, funny enough, hops are a very close cousin to the cannabis plant.
The marijuana plant? Am I allowed to say that?
The marijuana is...
that's a side effect of the marijuana poisoning.
Oh my God. I'm high on marijuana.
I fucking love King of the Hill.
I know. But yeah, no, it's fun fact, like the hops, the thing that makes like the bitter taste in beer is actually like very, very closely related to the cannabis plant, the marijuana.
Oh, smoking the reefer. I did not know that. It's interesting.
Yeah. So two of the things I love.
Whoa.
Hops and beer. Hops and beer.
Oh, I swear. Oh my God.
Oh man.
So if I was going to, what would you say for a first time gardener, like what would you say is the easiest thing? What requires the least attention?
Just growing up on the farm, honestly, the hardiest plants I've ever encountered were like pumpkins and cucumbers, you know, like the real like big gourd kind of type
fucking eggplants.
Yeah, fucking eggplant.
Yeah. You know what?
They look like testicles when they start growing.
Yeah, really? Hell yeah.
Yeah, they look like big white testicles hanging on the ground.
Nice. That's one of my... God, I wish I didn't just say one of my favorite things directly after you said that.
Oh my God, it's one of my favorite things in the whole world.
One of my favorite foods to eat is eggplant parm. I think it's fucking amazing.
Ew, really?
It's so good,
man.
man.
I can't
go to a nice Italian restaurant. They do it so fucking good.
Oh, so now that we're on the topic of eggplants, I do actually have quite detailed notes as provided by my wife. She has done a very detailed logging of all of the plants that she does. And as far as eggplants go, which I absolutely hate in the entire world.
I love eggplant.
But past that, eggplants, there's companion plants that can go with eggplant that complement it really well. It also helps like keep certain like bugs and shit off of it. So the companion plants that go with eggplant are catnip, marigold, beans, peppery, and tarragon.
What kind of beans?
Just beans. That's all she wrote.
Beans.
Beans is all she wrote.
Like green beans or string beans, or are we growing refried beans? What's going on here?
Give me some of them kidney beans. Mama has a fart.
What kind of fuckery is going on in the bean growing department?
I actually don't know, and I was actually expecting a text message from her to tell me that, but I haven't gotten anything. So,
speaking of which, I'm actually expecting. I love how we're both like expecting text messages for information from our significant others. I told Liv, I'm like, she didn't text me. She has pertinent information.
Yeah, There's some important information that was left out, and I'm sure she understands these notes, but like from an outsider perspective, they're great. But there's a couple questions I have. But as far as these notes go, I mean, we're gonna post them up on our Patreon for anyone who wants our vegetable advice. They will be there.
Can we do it in Discord too, with like a recipe thing for a certain tier?
Yeah, subs? It will be on Discord. I apologize that there's not anything on Patreon, but everything goes on our Discord. And to get on our Discord, you need to be subscribed to our Patreon.
Basically, just give us your money and we'll teach you how to cook mediocre food and drink good beer.
But isn't that what life is all about, really?
You know what? I love cooking. I love cooking so much that I'd rather have a good home cooked meal rather than a great store bought meal, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
I love cooking for myself, and
that's like a whole page, like a whole forum on our Discord is all about that. My wife is like one of the ones that's going to be posting on there, and she does a lot of those like homegrown stuff like that. So that's the price of admission. It's worth the price of admission just for the shit my wife posts.
Whoa, don't shortchange me. My recipes are pretty fucking nice too.
Man, you ain't Jack. I'm just...
Whoa. You gotta... But yeah, we'll have nice little... We'll probably do, you'll be able to tell whose recipe is who.
Yeah.
From who, and if you try them, hell yeah, give us a shout.
Yeah, if you got something else, I mean, if you're part of our Discord, if you got something else to add to it, by all means, let us know. And enhance the broke experience for everyone else.
Hell yeah. Feel free to chime in, give us some ideas if you want us to try to cook something. If you want to just, if you want us to review any food, if you got a recipe, we'll fucking cook it and
we'll cover it.
Yeah, let you know if it's shit or not. But I have breaking news.
Anyway,
I have breaking news. Apparently, when I blamed my girlfriend on still having the pamphlets for a topic we're talking about,
are they like in your back pocket?
No, they might be in a bag in my kitchen. So why don't you keep the good folks entertained for about 15 seconds?
Oh, I will. I will talk about the exciting world of carrots while you're gone.
I like carrots. I'll be right back.
All right, folks. Let's look at tomatoes and peppers, actually, because now Eric's on. He won't see that we have more interesting stuff to behold. So this is a little bit of an example, and it will provide for you the correct things in order to have a great pepper plant. So start with mulching. Start with black plastic with holes. And later, as summer approaches, an organic mulch like chopped leaves and grass clippings. So you're going to use like kind of a compost mixture for everything. And
oh my god, this is what I come back to.
Yes, we're talking about mulch for the peppers. So, and after like once the straw spread like 3 to 4 inches thick over the black plastic to cool the soil. So for peppers, they're really sensitive to the heat. Like they're just really difficult to plant. So
I'm never leaving you alone again. I realize the error of my ways. What have I done? I apologize.
I can't be stopped.
You're an unstoppable force to be reckoned with. So,
anyway, so like big thing is like about like the soil should be at 65 degrees for peppers. Like we'll roll this all into a nice like little thing. 18 to 14 inches apart when you're planting, and plant a week before transplanting, and compost your garden soil. Put 2 to 3 matchsticks in the hole with a teaspoon of fertilizer to provide sulfur, because sulfur is a big thing especially for peppers. The pH, I mean, this is like getting a little bit more technical, but you want your soil pH to be between 6.8 and 6.0. And
Science.
fertilized after the first fruit set, because yes, peppers are fruits.
Are they really?
Actually, yeah, they are.
No.
Yeah. They have seeds in them.
So do fucking apples. Oh yeah. What about tomatoes? I guess tomatoes are fruits too. There's that whole fucking stupid argument.
But no, I've always had my favorite saying. Intelligence is knowing that tomatoes are a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put them in a fruit salad.
Huh? I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I never thought about the fact, are peppers a fruit? You know what?
Yeah, they're technically a fruit. More about the peppers will be posted up on our Discord in the future. And it sounds like we got a restless boy in the background.
No, she just comes in and she starts whining if I stop petting her. Oh man, she's amazing. I love her. I actually, completely off topic. I actually might be fostering a dog soon.
Oh, very nice. What kind of dog?
I have no idea. It's like part collie. She's like 2 years old, and it was basically just a classic. Someone adopted a dog without realizing that.
Collies are super fucking restless, and you need to take care of them like 24/7.
Yeah. It's just not even just a collie, just without even realizing that dogs are actual work.
Oh, so, yeah, that's fair. Anyway, so you were talking. You were going to retrieve something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's not there.
It's not there. So great. So that this whole episode is ruined.
Everything. So what we, Mopsy, can you please stop, please? Basically, the information on there was where I live. There's a community garden in the town, and if you know anything about community gardens, it's literally just like you have a little plot and you can grow whatever you want, except probably weed.
Well, I mean, depending on where you are. If you're in Colorado, it could be.
Yeah, exactly. He even said that. He was like, you can grow anything you want as long as it's legal. And then he's like, and that might even change soon. So if it's legal, you can grow it.
And I love the idea of community gardens, and it's really cool that you have one near you. Did you end up finding out the costs per month, per year kind of thing?
He said it was $40. I can't remember for the life of me. It was for the month. So that I feel like a fucking idiot because I had the goddamn papers and everything.
Yeah, that's okay. I've been woefully unprepared before.
Yeah, so that was like the only thing that I fucking didn't have, and I thought Liv had it, so I text her, and then she said that she doesn't have it, that I must have it. Mopsy, you stop that. And
So on those topics, I mean, as far as like community gardens go, I mean, I know you don't have like the information on you, but definitely like while we're in our Discord, we'll post in our Discord up like community gardens that have like a big opening area in like their communities, stuff like that, like New York community gardens, New Jersey community gardens. Like as we hear about these things, like as we hear about these like great efforts to like allow people to do some home gardening, we'll be posting more of that up.
Yeah, it's really awesome because the whole thing about the community garden is, say you live in an apartment complex, but you still want to grow your own food. You go, you pay whatever it is, it's got to be $40 a year.
Yeah, I can't imagine it'd be much more than that.
So, but they have the plots there. They have a whole tool shed of all tools that you can use and everything. So if you don't have access to these things where you live, it's an amazing thing to just be able to go into your community garden and be able to garden when you otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, and at the very least, it's like it's gotta be stress relieving to be able to go out and like do some like nice simple gardening. Pull a couple weeds, check out like the beautiful plants that you've like put so much effort into. It's a very satisfying thing to look at your yield at the end of the year.
Yeah, and it's a community thing too. So you get to know people. You get to people.
That too.
Met before. Talk about what better way to learn about gardening than going to a community garden and asking people, and just talking to them about just tips and tricks and stuff like that. It's a really cool concept.
Yeah, and that after you brought that up to me earlier, like I've been looking into areas around here, and I've like unfortunately because I kind of live out in the sticks a little bit, I don't see as many community gardens, but there were a few like back in my hometown, like back near the back near like the city area, I did see that there's a lot of community gardens, which is cool because in the cities where there's not a whole lot of fresh food. I mean, you every once in a while there's a farmer's market, but like if with that community garden, that's a whole plot right in the middle of the city that has that has fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, especially in an area that you otherwise, there's I like around all the cities near me, there's not a lot of green patches. Go ahead and plant on.
Yeah.
So when you have an area like that, that's all it's for is community gardens. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So on that note, that's all we really had for today was just
we ended up.
We ended up going on a rant about like stuff that we can grow at home if you have the room for it, and if you don't have the room for it, we also have like the community gardens, which generally pick ideal spots. So
yeah, we covered our current beer we're drinking and all the other beer that Walker drank today on his little brewery tour.
Too much beer.
No such thing.
Nah, you're right. So on that note, Eric, what do we got going on for this week?
I don't know. What do we got?
Well, tonight we're at the very least tonight, for May the 4th, we are going to be doing nothing Star Wars related. And,
absolutely nothing.
And if we will be playing more Borderlands 2, because once we get through Borderlands 2, I will be covering the Borderlands Telltale series on Walker's Arcade on our channel, and me and Eric will be starting the pre-sequel, and we might have some extra guests to join us on our adventures.
Ooh, fuck, what was I just gonna say? We're doing we're gonna probably finish up Borderlands tonight, right?
We should. I believe we're really close. Again, like it's been a couple of years because I played it like when it first came out. I don't remember there being a whole lot left in the thing, so we have about 3-4 hours worth of gameplay left. If everything goes smoothly, maybe 2-3 hours, but we die every 2 fucking seconds, so
it's true. We're still actually relatively low level for being close to the end of the game. What are we, only like 27 or something like that?
Yeah, we're about like halfway there, but it's also like without like the extra stuff, without the DLC, without the blah, 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 blah. But I could be fucking wrong. Like, there could be a whole other chapter that I'm completely forgetting.
Who knows?
So
the point is we're relatively far into it, and at least Walker can tell you what the fuck's going on, because I've just been following him the entire time. I don't have any idea what's going on in the story.
Yeah,
I just keep following him.
Yeah, so if for those who haven't been watching us, and spoiler alert, if you haven't played Borderlands 2 or anything, and you're trying to get caught up, we have gotten to the point where Angel has just been killed, and Jack, handsome Jack, has taken Lilith hostage to add energy to the Vault Key to awaken the warrior. So
sure, sounds good to me.
So as of this, by the time this gets posted, we'll probably be a little bit further than that, but that is where we're at in the storyline, and so we should be pretty close to the pre-sequel. Stay tuned, because as I'm sure you've seen, Borderlands 3 gameplay has just dropped, so we will be covering that for very shortly. We're going to be doing a very short video in the near future this week about that gameplay footage and how we see it and what we thought about it. So
yeah, because they just dropped it a few days ago. They did a Twitch live stream, which was actually with recorded video, so it wasn't. It was live, but it wasn't. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna look more into that and just give you our general idea of what we think about this sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to impart my knowledge onto this. So, with that being said, Patreon is up and going. There's no content on the Patreon, but you will have access to our Discord with a subscription, and our Discord has about everything that we ever talk about ever. So, if that's what you're looking for and you want to join into the conversation, join us on there. We are also on
Instagram,
Rock the Castbox. Rock the Castbox.
Oh yeah, Castbox. I forgot about that.
We just posted all of our episodes up until episode 6 on Castbox. So
yeah, I'll be doing 7. I mean, I could do it maybe tonight. It's but yeah, so that's just pure audio. There's no video, so it's not like on YouTube where you're having gameplay footage. It's just all of our audio from our podcasts and shows and whatnot. It's really cool. It's really compiled nice and neatly in one place, episode 1 through 6 right now.
Yep.
And And we're gonna keep putting it up there. We're gonna keep putting our stuff up there. I'm gonna try to get us on SoundCloud, and
Yeah,
Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. We're actually really close to 100 followers on Instagram, and at 500 followers, we're gonna be doing a T-shirt giveaway. And at 100 subs on YouTube, what are we doing, Walker?
At 100 subs on YouTube, actually, either 100 subs on YouTube, 50 subs on Patreon, or 200 subs on Instagram, we will be running a poll. Whichever comes first, we'll be running a poll on Twitter and Instagram. We're going to gather up all your votes on how you want my beard to be shaved. I don't know if any of y'all have seen my bushy ass beard, but it needs to be taken down a little bit. So we're going to decide how that goes.
And it's going to be multiple choice, so you can't write in Hitler stash like I wanted to.
Yeah, no, I shut that down real fucking quick.
Because that was the first thing I said. He's like, nope. But yeah, so we'll have write-ins, and we'll get some good styles in there. But I think that's really it. You know, we got Anime Next coming up. We got the Ren Fair. We're going to be getting our tickets for that soon. And
Yep.
Stay posted for more shit that we're gonna do, because we're in full swing in this half past broke shenanigans business.
Yeah, and pretty soon we're gonna be posting up more content. I'm sure you've seen the Walker's Arcade. Eric has got something in the works. It's coming out very soon. And
if you watch any of our videos, you already know what it is, because I cover.
Oh, that's right. You spoiled it.
Was that in the stream? I think I said in the stream.
Oh, right. So yeah, maybe if you don't watch our stream, then you don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Which you should watch our stream.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
So on top of everything else, there's more content to come. That's all I got today. So this has been Half-Assed Broke. Make sure you stay thirsty, my friends, as the most interesting man in the world says. I've been Walker.
I'm still Eric. All right, so I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.
Thanks
for listening.